Did you guys know Howie Mandel is the voice of Gizmo?
Yeah, it says it in the credits.
Of the movie you're making me watch today, which is
Movies.
Steven Spielberg presents Gremlins. Just like Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies.
But I think he only presented the first one. Did he only present the first one?
He's not an actual he didn't direct it. He just presented it.
Just presented it. Directed.
He put his stamp on it. He said, "This is a good movie. Yeah, I'm putting my stamp on this."
Both Gremlins were directed by Joe Dante.
Both Amblin Pictures.
Okay.
No. Gremlins 2 was directed by Christopher Columbus.
No, it was directed by Joe Dante. And Christopher Columbus only wrote Gremlins 1.
Yes. Charlie Haas directed Gremlins 2. Future professional wrestler.
That's correct.
Yeah. I just didn't realize. I wasn't sure if Spielberg produced 2. He did or did not? He did. Okay. Copy.
What is 2 your favorite one?
Gremlins is the first Amblin movie as a company.
Okay. And that's Spielberg's company.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, and Frank Marshall's company.
That's what I said.
That's what Anthony said.
I said that.
Whatever, dude.
What about Temple of Doom, which was out?
Wait, Gremlins 2 was directed by Joe Dante.
That's what I said.
You said it was directed by a wrestler.
No, written by Charlie Haas, who has the same name as a professional wrestler.
Fuck Charlie Haas.
That was a joke for the wrestling fans who were listening. We can move on.
And Jake, as your Temple of Doom is a Lucasfilm production.
Oh, Spielberg directed that. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
George Lucas is the owner of Indiana Jones.
And the Gremlins 2 or Gremlins in Temple of Doom are the reasons we have a PG-13. I think those two are the big reasons we have the PG-13 these days, because they were both PG.
Raiders, and
but
Raiders
they were like
Ark, not Temple of Doom.
No, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. Yeah.
Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Nah.
Temple of Doom's the one that's all fucked up.
Yeah. Nah. Like Gremlins. It's still like, because that's the weird thing about Gremlins. It's like, what? Sometimes it's one of those like, what is this? Is this a kids movie? Is this a horror movie?
It's a Roger
okay. Are we gonna have that conversation?
It's not a B movie.
Dude, Joe Dante directed 2 B movies before he got.
It's not a B movie.
Movie.
I don't give a fuck. It's not a B movie because it was made for $11 million in the 80s and fucking made like over $100 million. You don't know what a B movie is. You need to accept the fact that what you think something is actually wrong.
It's a B movie, ladies and gentlemen.
That.
Well, he doesn't need to accept. Well, he needs to accept that he's just not right all the time.
Yeah, he's not always right. Yeah, again, you're wrong, but
Joe Dante
whatever.
Directed 2 movies for Roger Corman Productions before this.
Just because he did that, he made B movies, and then he made a movie that was not a B movie. Is what Gremlins is.
Spielberg was like, "Yo, let's make an expensive B movie. We'll do it." And they.
I just want to say,
is not even a thing. An expensive B movie's not a thing.
I just want to say,
there's a lot of those. Death
Anthony
Proof is
about
in your opinion.
Guys, ready? You guys were both right. It's the Temple of Doom.
We knew that already.
Yes,
it was the Temple of Doom and this movie that created
do I know something else?
PG-13 rating.
Something else?
Isn't that interesting?
Temple of Doom, B movie.
Temple of Doom, worst movie of the 3. Jake, do you have a word for Gremlins? Who cares who picked
Extra.
Jake, I mean Schwartz.
Extra. Wait, extra. All right.
Extra. Jake says extra.
I have
Schmiz?
I have 2. One's a letter.
Oh,
I'm gonna go B movie.
So wrong.
And I'm not talking about the Jerry Seinfeld vehicle. I'm talking about just B movies in general, like expensive B movies like this.
I have one single word.
It's a fucking oxymoron. Is that fucking phrase?
Bro,
expensive.
You want to talk about oxymorons? Just look in the mirror, baby.
Oh,
you probably don't know what an oxymoron is either because you're fucking retarded.
You probably don't
Anthony,
know what
what's your word?
I forgot.
You don't remember?
All over the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
This movie's all over the place. Like, what? Number one, what the fuck is a gremlin?
That's a mogwai after it eats it.
Exactly. Nah, I mean, it's all stupid. It's all stupid.
Dude, it's a B child's movie, bro.
It's all over the place, and it's not bad, but it's not good.
It's the same thing as the Goonies. It's fun.
Also, like the second one. Why did we even watch the second one?
The second one's better than the first one.
It's not, but Schwartz thought it was based around Christmas,
disagree.
and it's not based on Christmas.
You-
Gremlins 2 is
for
not a
some
Christmas
reason
movie.
you led us to believe it was going to be a Christmas movie.
Yeah, you
It's
told
not
us
a
directly
Christmas
that it was a
Well,
Christmas movie.
I said that Gremlins was a Christmas movie, and we should watch Gremlins
And
1
no,
and 2.
I definitely asked you if Gremlins
No,
2 takes place on Christmas,
like
and you said
the
yes.
whole reason
I
we're
thought it
doing
did.
these are
Okay.
That's fine,
I
but
probably
it
thought
didn't.
it did.
It didn't.
It didn't.
That's okay.
So, but we
Mistakes were
watched
made,
it.
But we
It's
watched it.
fine.
It
Not
took
a
me
Christmas
like
movie.
about 45 minutes into Gremlins 2. I'm like, wait, this isn't.
Gremlins
fuck,
2
this
is
isn't
quite
Christmas. God damn
insane.
it. Gremlins 2 is
so
definitely
fun.
insane.
So fun. So
It's
much more
like
fun than the first.
Yeah.
not.
At
It's-
first, I wasn't liking it, and then
They
it
went a
kinda-
completely different direction.
it
Oh,
like
yeah.
it took a turn where it like broke the fourth wall completely, like midway through. Then I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of in now because now I'm realizing.
Oh,
it's
I'm
just
not.
being,
Not
like,
me. Not me.
thought it
I
was- that
was.
shit was
I
funny.
went from dumb to dumber, dude. It went from
Okay.
Jim to fucking Jeff. It was bad.
I got it. It was probably
Dumb-
Hulk Hogan
Dumb and
that,
Dumber,
that got
Jim
me. It was the
Carrey,
it was
Jeff,
it was
Yeah, you got you, Schwartz. Schwartz was confused for a second, but
yeah.
he's
I
in.
like that one.
It was-
He's
it was-
back. Well, that was a good
back,
one. That was
Gremlin.
not even like
That
a
was
deep
good
cut.
one.
It was pretty
It was
good.
a smart one. I like that one.
Thanks, man. I'm a smart dude. It just wasn't
Sometimes.
good.
What do you
The
mean
second-
wasn't good?
second
it was
one wasn't
fun.
good.
The front, it was so much more entertaining.
Ridiculous.
Than
It
the first
was ridiculous. I don't
That's
think it
what I
was
love
more
about it.
entertaining.
one. Oh, dude, it just didn't give up. Like it kept going. And it got crazier and crazier. And I think
It was
that was
dumb
perfect.
though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the first
that's-
one's dumb. The first one's about a dude who walks into
First
a fucking,
one's pretty
to a
dumb.
fucking or antique shop and finds a live fucking animal called a mogwai. It looks like a little teddy bear.
Yeah. Which I started realizing something funny because like the guy who was ended up being right, Mr. Flubberman, he started talking about like gremlins were in the machineries and shit in his
Mhm.
planes. I guess that was like a rumor in World War I where they would like talk about like how there was like weird little creatures in the machines and would like fuck up their engines and stuff and their planes, and they called them gremlins.
Hmm.
And what was funny is that this guy's so racist, he doesn't realize the difference between Japanese things and Chinese.
So Gremlins is a racist term.
I think it was like it was an anti-Japanese thing because they were fighting against Japanese people, and they would blame the Japanese for putting like gremlins in their machines.
So you hate Japanese people?
No, Schwartz does.
What? I
Schwartz?
love Japanese people.
Oh, I was just assuming.
Name 4 Japanese people you love.
Fuck.
Todd and his 3 sisters.
Sick. Nice. I love them too. What's this movie about? So he goes in, he finds his Chinese mogwai.
It starts with a really bad voiceover. Do I got a story for you?
Who's the voice?
That's the dad. What's his fucking actor's name?
Archie Bunker?
It's Hoyt Axton.
That's the guy's real name, right? Not
Yeah,
the dad's
that's
name.
no. The dad's name is whistling sound.
His
guy.
name is Randall Peltzer.
Yeah, Peltzler, Randall
Yeah.
Peltzer,
So it's
a
about
wannabe
dude-
inventor who's
Yeah,
terrible
it's about
at
a
his job.
guy who's terrible at his job. He invents things that only work like none percent of the time.
This guy sucks.
He's kind of down and out on life. You know, he's kind of a shitty guy. He goes into an antique
Terrible
shop
father.
in Chinatown, and he's looking for a gift for his kid for Christmas. And he
Is he?
finds
Is that
this-
why he was down there? Because he seemed like
Yeah.
he was just selling his bullshit down there.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
He was down there to
He
sell.
was-
it,
he was
found
da-
the
yeah.
mogwai.
And then he realized he
and
needs
this
his son
guy's
needs a
like-
gift,
Let me sell you my toothbrush in a box.
and like shit always squirts everywhere. His
Not
inventions
good.
are just kind of annoying, but I see that they were like it's a movie kind of for kids, so it's meant to be funny.
It reminded me of
it
like
just got old.
Have you ever seen Casper, the Friendly Ghost?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Gina Ricci. Great.
Remember when
movie.
he was
Also-
like,
also presented by Steven Spielberg.
remember when he was like going down the thing and he was like brushing his teeth and combing his hair and shit? That guy was an inventor too. It was kind of the same thing, but in a box. Casper, way better movie.
Casper's pretty
haven't
good.
seen that one. in a
Casper's a
long
better
time.
Casper's
movie.
pretty good.
I'm
Casper's
saying
pretty good.
Casper is a better movie than this, but I'm not gonna. Who directed
know,
that? Should we watch
I might-
Casper?
I might be with you on that actually.
I don't remember who directed
might be with-
Casper.
Nobody super
The
famous
Friendly
directed
Ghost?
Casper.
Maybe next Halloween.
I mean, Anthony, you could pick
Yeah,
Casper
save-
whenever you want,
save
dude. It's America.
Save it. Save it.
I'll
for
pick it.
Halloween.
I'll save it for a Halloween movie. But continue. So, what were you saying, Schwartz?
So Randall goes into this antique shop in Chinatown, discovers this old man who's super old dude. And he's like, yo,
How old is
buy
he?
my fucking, I don't know, he's probably like 143. And he's like, yo, buy my invention, dude. I'm an inventor. And the guy's like, no, I don't need that. And then he looks around and he sees and he hears a sound and he looks into the cage and he sees Gizmo, the little Mogwai. And he's like, yo, I gotta have this guy. I need this guy for my son. And the Asian dude's like, no way, dude. He's too much. You can't have him. He's too much responsibility. You know, you're not ready for him. And then the grandson of the old dude in the thing is like, yo, grandpa, we need this fucking money, bro. You got to sell this guy this Mogwai. He's like, no, responsibility ain't what a fucking Americans do well. And then
He ain't wrong.
like, the kid's, I know, I'm never wrong. And then the dude's
Talking
like,
about the Chinese guy.
Schwartz is not Chinese.
stop interrupting me.
So is there only one Mogwai in the world? Is that the only Mogwai?
I think he was probably the last of the Mogwai after the crazy thing that happened probably before that.
What happened before that? Was there a story that happened?
So they're making a prequel series, animated series on Netflix, actually. It takes place in the 1920s in Asia. This is true. I just read this today.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also discovered that today.
Is
Yeah, me
Mr.
too.
Columbus a part of this?
Nah, neither is
I
Mr.
doubt it.
Spielberg. It's a Netflix thing.
But Columbus he's not going to be a part of it at all.
It's like
Chris
the birth of the Magwai or something.
He has ideas for 3.
Dunzo. Chris Columbus is kind of dunzo.
But you've heard his ideas for 3.
I have not.
Wasn't it something like to do with the White House?
Straight up horror. Straight up like.
Well, the first one was a straight up horror until Spielberg got a hold of it. It
yeah,
was. No, listen.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Written by
was.
Christopher Columbus.
So then Spielberg got a hold of it and was like, yo, let's make this movie. But where we got to change is that
Yeah.
you got to have one good gremlin. And that's how Gizmo came.
So that's
And
what
he's
he
gotta be one
wanted
that
to
doesn't
make
change.
3. He from what I've heard.
It's way more violent and shit.
He said he wanted to make 3 because he's a huge fan of, obviously, he's a huge fan of Hammer horror movies, which is why he had Mr. Lee in his second movie. But continue.
Well, Joe Dante, the first movies he made were Piranha and The Howling. Piranha was a movie about killer piranhas, and The Howling's a werewolf movie. Both Roger Corman productions. So he got the job because Steven Spielberg was like, yo, this guy can make this fucking type of movie. Because, you know, Spielberg, he loves sentiment and shit like that. So he was like,
family movies.
We can make a monster movie for families, you know? So he hired this dude. I read, too, that he considered Tim Burton, but Tim Burton had never directed a movie before. He was going off of his short films, and he just decided because he never made
Imagine
that he couldn't do it.
How would this movie be like? What would this movie be if it was a Tim Burton movie? What would be different?
He did his best work early on. Burton
I bet there'd be a lot more claymation, like
spirals.
You know, a lot more animated sequences.
Right. More spirals.
I mean, this is the heart of any Spielberg movie. You know, without him, Chris Columbus wouldn't even be a thing. Probably.
But imagine a Spielberg Burton situation. Has there been one?
I don't think there's been a
A Spielberg Burton?
I don't think so.
Whoa.
Steven Spielberg.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Can we make that happen? Mr. Spielberg, if you listen to this, if you enjoy this podcast, hit up my boy
Spielberg.
Timmy B,
and make a Mr. Steven Spielberg Productions.
So anyway, this dude gets the Mogwai from the little kid. He's like, yo, take the Mogwai. He's like, but I got to tell you this. There's 3 things you cannot do. First one, don't put light on this guy. He fucking hates light. He could die. Right. Second thing, don't get him wet. And third and most important thing, never feed this dude after midnight. So you're like right there. You're like, oh, dude, this dude's going swimming. He's eating late. You know what I mean? You got it
right there. You're like, why?
Yeah, it's already problematic.
Sure. Why?
But how?
It's gonna
like,
happen.
I don't. You never even ask why. He just like, okay, cool, got you.
But also, like, the consequences to it, we learn, are quite severe.
I never thought about that.
And
I know, right?
You got to think, like,
there's a lot in this movie that you're like, what the fuck?
Why didn't number one? Why didn't the kid? Why didn't the guy was like? Why wasn't the guy like? Why? Number one, but that's fine. Fuck it. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. He just wants the Mogwai. Yeah. But for sure, if the kid knew the consequences of these actions, he should have been like, because
yeah.
and then multiply
and potentially destroy a town.
And they become like super evil, like thing, like demons.
Yeah.
Which is what happens. Continue.
So this dude, this inventor on the downslope of his life, goes back to his small
DS of his
town.
L.
I think it's called like Easton Falls or Breasted
Kingston.
Falls or something.
Kingston Falls.
Which is actually the same place they shot Back to the Future trilogy.
Sounded like Bedford Falls from our favorite movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, you saw that video I
Reminded
sent
me
you,
of.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
it was all very similar.
He loves this movie, or he loves that movie.
Chris Columbus does.
It's in all of his movies.
Let's go on to say that Chris Columbus became, with John Hughes, probably the guy from like this point on until like 2000s when he made the Harry Potter movies.
Didn't he write the Goonies?
He wrote the Goonies.
Yeah, he wrote the Goonies and directed Home Alone.
Directed the Home Alones, directed the first 2 Harry Potters, directed Uncle Buck, directed fucking Mrs. Doubtfire. Like this dude became like one of the go-to family.
Christmas
guys,
Chronicles 2.
Ooh, that's a good. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Yeah,
You know,
he made my favorite 2 kids movies.
He also
as
directed the live version of Rent.
Oh, Rand, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, the movie version he made too.
Interesting.
He directed the movie Rent.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh,
version.
Rad.
Even more,
we were just talking about
it now. Now I'm gonna watch the fucking movie Rent by
it's a
Christopher
good movie.
Columbus.
It's a
Chris
fucking
Columbus,
good movie.
not Christopher.
So
Christopher Columbus is an
his
asshole.
first movie was The Adventures in Babysitting, which is a fucking
That's a
no
solid
shit.
flick.
movie.
I didn't even realize. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I remember loving that when I was younger.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
kids
I haven't
movie.
seen it in a long
Yeah.
time.
He thrives with children for sure. He makes the
That's
best
why him and Spielberg
kids
are such
with
a good
kids
combo.
movies.
but, family
He
shit.
also
He-
made the Young Indiana Jones movie. You ever see that? Young Indiana
Yeah.
Jones?
Oh, yeah.
Directed-
I
he wrote
knew
that,
I
too.
knew that before I like even really knew who Indiana Jones was because
Mhm.
this guy was like.
I'm
oh.
sorry, not Young Indiana Jones. Young Sherlock Holmes. My bad.
Oh no,
Young Sherlock Holmes.
There's an Indiana Jones Jr. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
No, I don't. What was that?
It was a young Indiana Jones.
It was a movie.
It was a TV series.
I never knew that. It was obviously Lucasfilm.
Must have been. It was
to
Indiana
be.
Jones ripoff
Yeah.
for sure.
Hmm.
Young Sherlock Holmes. Wasn't a fan of that.
Really? It's pretty good.
Big fan of Chris.
All right. Anyway, this dude returns to Kingston Falls, gives his kid this Mogwai. Of course, everybody's like, "Dude, this little fucking thing." Well, let's stop for a second. All right, this Mogwai. What it is it's like a little furry creature. It looks like a little like Care Bear or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
Looks like a
guinea
Furby.
pig.
It's a
Yeah,
Furby.
It's like Furby. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Furbies were based off of this Ave.
It's like a gnome meets a guinea pig.
It's a Furby.
That's
It's
a
a
good way to
Furby.
do it. Yeah, sure. No meat's a guinea pig.
It's like a
Anyway.
Schwartz meets a guinea pig.
Yeah, it's a Schwartz meets a guinea pig.
This
It's adorable.
adorable little Mogwai named Gizmo, and he takes him to his house, and everybody loves him. And he tells the kid, he's like, "Listen, dude, you can't do these 3 things. Repeat the 3 things." And of course, right there, you're like, "Well, this is about to happen," and it does happen. And they get him wet, and these things start popping off.
Fucking Corey Feldman.
Oh yeah, I missed
Solid
a lot of shit.
Corey Feldman.
Someone pick up where I left off. I forget what's going on.
Well, it was Corey Feldman. Well, it was all that stuff happened. He got it home. Blah 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 blah. Corey Feldman's in the movie. You missed the part about the introduction of Billy. Billy works at a bank, kind of
Well,
like.
let's be honest.
popular in
Billy's
the
probably
town.
the worst main character in the history of main characters.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
He's
the
really
characters
terrible.
kind of suck, and
the actor was terrible.
yeah, that's what harms these movies a little bit because there's no good characters. There's no like fun
true.
characters. Like Billy
The
kind
only
of
good
just sucks.
characters are the
The
fucking
dad sucks.
The only good characters are the goddamn Gremlins, dude.
Yeah, the Gremlins
And Corey
pulled
Feldman.
together.
Pete.
Yeah, Gizmo. Yeah, Gizmo's great.
How about number 2 with Rambo Gizmo? That was amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Billy
yeah.
works at a local bank.
Yeah.
He was hanging out with whatever. He gets Gizmo. His buddy fucking spills water on him. His buddy Pete, who is Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. Yep.
Oh, let's not forget the mean lady who threatens to kill Billy's dog. That was pretty fucked.
Yeah,
up.
but she has nothing to do with it. Like she comes. She doesn't even. She goes. Do we even see her again in the movie?
She dies. She's the
Well,
one
that's
who's thrown out the
yeah.
window,
She
right?
gets hit. But what about Judge Reinhold? Why does that? I just realized like that happened. There was like a scene with him talking about being rich later, and then they never show him again.
He was in the movie.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it seemed like a plot setup. Like he could have been like a villainish guy, like
We should have just
going
watched
after
the
his
Santa
girl.
Claus.
But I was just like, what the fuck happened to did Judge Reinhold ever come back? Because I had that thought watching it, and then he
Judge
just
is
never did.
in Santa Claus, and that's a great movie.
He's in Santa Claus.
Yeah,
he's like the stepdad. Yeah.
He could have been like a Judge Reinhold Santa Claus like character.
He's like the Carrie Ewells in Liar Liar.
Yeah, there's this. It's just this movie's so like all over the place. It just has all like a lot of random things that. That's kind of why I said the term extra earlier, because there's a lot of things that just happen that you're like, why the fuck did that just happen?
Wasn't that my word? All over the place, or what did I say?
All over the place. Yeah, for sure. It's so weird. Like, I guess if we'll speed up a little bit. Like, yeah, like the fucking the Mogwai gets the water spilt on it. That causes him to like
multiplies.
Pop, like turn into a little popcorn Mogwai.
Probably about 10 Mogwai pop out of the back of Gizmo.
Yeah. And they're all assholes.
They all have different personalities.
Like super gross.
Gross. Very gross. This movie's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. They pop out and they end up cocooning and becoming fucking gremlins.
No, they cocoon when they eat after midnight.
Oh, yeah.
It's like body horror for fucking kids. It's weird.
So they're fine. They're like these little clones of Gizmo, but they all have each personalities. One's a little fucking retard. One's an asshole. One's fucking like
they're all assholes.
They all have different personalities,
which I never get.
At one point, accidentally, he fucking feeds everyone after midnight except for Gizmo. Gizmo's like, nah, I ain't hungry. And then everyone that eats after midnight then cocoons into the pupa stage.
Gizmo knows better because he's not an asshole.
Gizmo knows better. And then the second one, it's just stupid because they just lock him in. They lock him away for some reason. It's just like they got to have a reason for Gizmo to not turn into because why wouldn't Gizmo eat after midnight and then turn into one of the crazy things?
Because Gizmo's a good guy. He's not an asshole. He knows what happens.
But here's
but he wasn't supposed to be. That was a Spielberg thing.
Why are these other ones assholes is always my thought.
Because they're all assholes, dude.
But they're part of aren't they like sort of like a replication of Gizmo? Like, wouldn't they just be more like Gizmo?
So let's
because it's like Gizmo's like
the
offspring
actors,
essentially.
Like Phoebe Cates and the idiot who plays Billy, they say that the Gremlins are like the things that everybody wants to do, but they know better not to do. They're like the mischievous part of everybody. They're the asshole of everybody. That's how they looked at it.
That's weird.
I guess there was no backstory to it except for that they were mischievous. And in the original script, like they were cutting off heads and killing dogs and shit. Like
that's great.
Yeah. More hardcore. Yeah. So that's what they turn into after they eat after midnight.
So yeah, there's one, and then there's one called Stripe, who's like the asshole
leader.
King.
Yeah, the leader of the Gremlins.
He's got a mohawk Stripe. And then they what happens?
They start fucking with the town.
So like the whole thing about killing them is the bright light. So bright light kills them.
Yeah, sunlight apparently kills them. Bright light scares them.
That's stupid.
It's a kids movie, you jerks.
Yeah. So they go to the YMCA. Stripe jumps into a pool.
Multiplies.
Yeah. So there's a
fuckload of them. Yeah. And at that point, he just leaves and he goes to the cops and he's like, I don't know, maybe there's 100, maybe there's 10,000 of them at this point. They're all fucking crazy and they multiply. The cops don't fucking believe him.
Start killing people.
But what do they start doing? They start robbing banks.
Carol. They go caroling.
They carol. What the fuck is going on in this movie, Schwartz?
What they're doing? They're trolling people, dude. They're caroling. They're trolling.
They're smart. They're that smart that they're fucking. They're hanging out. They're just hanging out.
Smarter than you, dude.
They immediately know all sorts of pop culture references upon birth. And who the fuck is making all those little clothes? How do they get
making?
Who's making
Mrs. Claus outfits?
Topical outfits for every little weird scenario they're in.
They're all fucking caroling, and they all have hand knitted Amish style fucking Christmas sweaters, like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
You know what one gets me the most is most of them they're just naked little monsters the whole time, but one of them is a flasher gremlin. He has the trench coat.
Are you sure that was that the second one or this one?
No, it's in both of them.
Yeah, why is that bitch fucking giving him drinks in the first place? This bartender, they keep cutting to this bar where this lady's just pouring Gremlins drinks.
Cates,
did they
also works at the bank?
Wait, is that Phoebe? Is it the
Phoebe
main
Cates.
girl?
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, that's the main girl. Phoebe Cates. Yeah,
Phoebe
that's
Cates?
the.
So
That's
Spielberg said that's his favorite scene in the movie because of how hilariously random it is. You know what?
Why is she there?
Dude,
Because
number
Gremlins
2
are
is
making
She's
it.
not a bartender.
Number 2 is basically that scene for an hour and a half.
Dude, the scene when the gremlin starts talking like a human in number 2 is the best. That's the funniest part of
That
movies
shit
and
is
movies.
funny. That's kind of that's sort of what I actually started kind of liking. Him
That shit was
explaining the
hilarious.
bat and like injecting it with like sunscreen shit, like that whole. I was like, okay, I see what it's going, and then it does the movie theater thing.
So I think we've
it's
said
just
enough about
ridiculous.
number 1. There's not much that happens after that. The gremlins wreak havoc.
No.
They kill him.
There's a big point in this movie that's a fucking
okay.
insane part is the Phoebe
let's hear
Cates. The Phoebe Cates, Phoebe. Her name is Kate in the movie. Also, that helps. Kate's story about her
Married to
dad.
Kevin Klein.
Oh my God. That's my favorite part of this movie. And the second movie, I'm going to be honest, she has one in the second movie too.
Kind of. And the second one,
she has a full-blown fucked up story.
It's more like making fun of the first one though. Because they're like,
the whole first one's
like,
making the whole second one, whole second movie's making fun of the first one, where they think they act like they break your VHS tapes and your whole, or they like the whole meta movie theater thing. But that whole thing's fucking stupid.
No, but still like the
go ahead.
Okay, so it's supposed to be a kids movie. That's
can you repeat her story from like word for word?
Yeah. So it was Christmas Eve.
Hey,
and
why? Hold on, Jake.
We're making hot chocolate.
Why do you hate Christmas?
And we started
why do you
wondering,
hate Christmas so much?
Okay, so it was one.
She was 9 years old,
and I was 9 years old, and me and Mom were making hot chocolate, just waiting for Dad to get home. And as hours went by, we started wondering where Dad was. And a couple days went by, and no one has heard from Dad. And then one day, I started noticing a smell. And then Mom and I thought it was just maybe like a squirrel or something, or a raccoon or some shit. I probably missed some parts, but who cares?
Well, nobody smells anything, but
no, she notices a smell.
I don't think there's a smell.
I think that's why that's why they call that. She notices a smell, and then they call the cops, and then they fucking pull him out, and then they realize it's their dad, and he broke his neck in the fireplace, and that's how she found out
the dad
Santa's
tried
not
to
real.
The dad tried to crawl down the chimney dressed as Santa, dies in the process. They don't find him for a couple days. She hates Christmas.
Several days later, after Christmas, he was found dead in the chimney, dressed as Santa Claus, planning to surprise her and her mother.
I just need to point out the fact that
they broke his neck.
They announced that Santa isn't real in a kids movie. They did that in a kids movie. She goes
like this. That's how I figured out Santa wasn't real. When she found her dead dad in the chimney dressed as Santa Claus. That was the best part of the movie. That was the best part of the movie.
Probably so.
What's the second? She has a great story in the second one too.
It starts, but they interrupt.
Let's jump to the second one then. All right. So the first one ends. They kill the gremlins. Gizmo gets returned back to the old Asian dude.
Yeah, Mr. Wing comes back and takes
and
Gizmo from the fucking Peltzers.
Yeah.
And he says, "You ain't ready for Mogwai."
Yeah. And then number two
but he says maybe
Chinese
one day
dies.
you will be.
Yeah. And that guy dies in the beginning of the first one. After after the second one, after a big rich dude makes him an offer to buy a shop, but he won't sell his shop. And they're like, it's cool. We'll just wait till he dies. Cut to 6 weeks later. He's apparently dead. And they're building stuff over where his shop was.
Gizmo scurries out of there.
Yeah, Gizmo scurries out of there. And then like the scientist that belongs to that guy's corporation like finds him in an alley. And here's a quick question. Wasn't he scurrying around in daylight?
Yeah.
This was very touch. This movie was so touch and go about the whole daylight thing.
I thought the same thing, but I never rewound it because it wasn't worth it. This movie's not worth rewinding for sure.
No, it's not.
Not worth extending the experience.
There's so many.
Not even a Christmas movie.
Yeah. All right.
Let's just the new batch. Howie Mandel just got paid another $1 million to come back and go.
Yeah. We'll just stick with the light thing for now. Just jump forward. Also, there was like a part where they were like, Leonard Maltin was reviewing the first Gremlins movie, so they were on a movie set or on a TV set, and they attacked him on the TV set. And I'm just like, that had to have been lit the fuck up.
The meta aspects of number two
It fucked with it.
Lost on. I was lost on.
Yeah.
It was not funny for me.
Yeah, the musical performance at the end of it was like there was spotlights on the Gremlins during a musical performance. I'm like,
it was dumb.
Every time they're like, why the fuck are they're just
they
ignoring the light thing.
Made Gremlins 2 as like a ha. I can't believe we get to make another one of these. Like that's what Gremlins 2 seemed to be.
Because there was even like a scene where they're like kind of making fun of the rules of like, well, what do you mean they can't eat after midnight? Midnight, like what time zone or something? Like they were like, what if they were on an airplane? Like
real questions,
right? Like it seemed like that would be like,
what if he eats something? What if he eats something, gets stuck in his teeth, and then he swallows it after midnight? Like is that eating after midnight or not?
Right. So, and I also thought during the first one, it's snowing outside the whole time. You know what snow is? It's water.
Why wasn't they just went outside? They were just... Oh yeah, there was a couple times in the second one too where they were in some kind of wet situation where I was like, there's plenty of water in this solution that he's standing in to have him multiply, but it's not happening. I don't understand. Though, listen, the rules don't apply.
No, and in 2, I think everything was just kind of out the window, and they were more like trying to be meta.
2 is just fun, man. These movies are like trying to decipher these movies of why they didn't make sense or why they're so ridiculous. It's like saying the same thing about the Goonies or Hook or We're Back or anything like that. They're fucking kids movies.
The Goonies made sense. Number one,
Goonies definitely made sense.
Terrible.
There's nothing that doesn't make sense in the Goonies. Hook is just a dream, so you can
like there's simple things of the insanity of this movie is like the fact that Billy works in the same building that they happen to like own, and like it's all like that's just such an easy like little thing. Like why the fuck is that Futterman guy even visiting Billy?
And how come every time he goes into the drugstore he hits the thing and he goes, I wish I had $1 million?
That's it's a Wonderful Life.
These movies suck. All of your guys' Christmas choices fucking suck. We're watching Die Hard and Die Hard 2 for next week.
All right.
And those are solid, entertaining, real Christmas, happens on Christmas movies.
Black Christmas was a classic, so fuck you.
Black Christmas was good.
You're right. Sorry, I forgot about that one. I thought we were just talking about
the last two.
The last two, yeah.
I would rather watch Gremlins
Wonderful Life and Gremlins
times before I watch Wonderful Life again.
That's fine.
I'd rather
fun.
Watch
Die Hards.
We're doing good with it.
All those.
We're doing like a genre, every like genre Christmas movies. Like we had the horror, we had the kind of drama classic. What I don't know the fuck.
Yeah, Gremlins was like,
what the fuck is Gremlins? Like it's still, is it a horror movie? Is it a kids movie?
Oh, you're talking. I'm sorry, we were talking Wonderful Life. Wonderful Life just sucked. Gremlins.
It's a B movie. It's definitely a B movie.
No, it's not.
Why isn't it a B movie? Why is it a B movie, Shorts?
Because it's a monster movie based around a script that doesn't matter. That's trying to just like show off.
So you're saying it's a B movie based on script?
Yeah, basically.
And Jake, why is it not a B movie?
Because it was a big budget with a large theatrical release.
Hey man, so is Death Proof, so is Planet Terror, so is Piranha 3D.
Those were like made an homage to B movies. Those weren't actually.
So was this.
Movies.
That's what I'm saying. This is like an homage to
$11 million is not a huge budget though, right?
In the 80s.
I mean, in the 80s.
In the 80s, it probably was.
This is the first.
In the 80s, really 11 million? Like what? What? Like in the 80s, what was fucking?
I don't know,
Terminator or what was a big budget in the 80s?
Terminator? The first Terminator wasn't a big budget. Terminator 2 had. I think when Terminator 2 was made, it was the biggest budget of all time. It was the most expensive movie ever made at the time. Mm-hmm. But the first Terminator was a lower budget.
And how much was that?
I don't recall.
Terminator
the first
2.
Terminator 2 was like
120, 150.
Yeah, something like that. It was well over 100 million.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981. It was $245 million movie.
That's the budget?
Budget? 200 million? Is that what it says?
Or is
really?
That gross.
You're right. Hold on. Let me just double check it.
Gross,
let me double check that's the budget, not the gross. Yeah, you're right.
I think it was that. Yeah,
you're right. Million. I typed in budget and it gave me gross. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, it was probably more like a 20.
I think Jurassic Park
40.
Okay, so yeah, average was about 16 million. So that's close.
I forget what we're even talking about, but what
B
were we
movies.
talking about? Oh,
What B movies are?
I'm just saying what a B movie average
We've
budget
literally
was in the 80s.
Looked up the definition of B movie on this podcast and read it.
But
and
who
then
the
Schwartz
fuck cares
says
what the internet says?
That's wrong.
Yeah, but who cares what the internet says a
It's
B movie
also
is?
the dictionary.
It's an wasn't it
Fuck the
Urban
dictionary, dude.
No, it was like
what was it? The Urban
Webster's dictionary or whatever the fuck.
Well, I don't know if I
Webster's Merriam Dictionary.
Merriam-Webster. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
And then it was like also the same thing was said on like Wikipedia. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was the Urban Dictionary. No, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it matters what the internet says.
It's fine. Schwartz also just learned what the word polarizing was like 2 weeks ago. So
hey, that's not
a big deal.
Hey man, your mom likes that word when I shout as I'm banging her.
You right. I heard it. Everybody's got to learn something at some point.
Good comeback.
If he didn't learn
your
it,
mom never corrected me when I was using it wrong.
Banging.
Sometimes you make mistakes, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be perfect like you, Jake.
It's okay. You can just admit you don't know what a B movie is, and we can move on.
You don't know what a B movie is. That's why we're
no, I know what a B movie is because I can read what a definition is.
You can't spell definition, and Webster don't count.
DEFI.
Exactly.
Who is Zachary?
A B movie, according to the Oxford Languages definitions.
Where's Oxford?
England.
England.
These guys don't know shit
the
about
English
shit.
language.
A low-budget movie, comma, especially parentheses, formerly and parentheses, one made for use as a companion to a main attraction in double features. I think that's the original. Definition. That's how it began. That's how but that's not what it is today.
Listen, just because you can take a B movie idea and a B movie script and make it as a bigger budget movie doesn't take away the fact that it's a B movie.
I don't think a script makes a B movie.
Yes,
I think
does.
I think it's just not.
You don't think you can?
Totally does.
You can.
I think there's genres
Can you write a B movie? Like, can you actively in writing the movie? Can you be thinking the whole time and you'd be like, I'm writing a B movie, and that is how it's going to be. And
those are.
I don't think that can happen in a script
of B movies.
Yes, I do, because those movies are making things. You know what's a B movie made for a huge amount of money? Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a B movie.
It's still not a B movie.
A lot of money.
I think of a movie like Slackers. Or Slacker, I think.
Movie?
Slacker?
That's an independent movie.
See, to me, that's a B movie.
But what makes it a B movie? There's
low budget.
Crazy,
no big names.
B movies are like either bloody or scary or funny or like almost like over sexualized.
That's not necessarily.
Like that.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you could be wrong. It's all right.
You don't think so, but you don't know so.
When we just read the definition of what a B movie was.
Sure, the original
definition. That was one definition of what a B movie. That definition was basically how a B movie was invented, not what a B movie is today.
Just because,
but it's not saying anything about a genre.
You can make an expensive B movie. That all these movies I'm naming are B fucking movies, dude.
In its post-Golden Age usage of B movie, there's ambiguity on both sides of the definition. On the one hand, the primary interest of many inexpensive exploitation films is prurient. And on the other hand, many B movies display a high degree of craft and aesthetic ingenuity.
Like the Terminator, the original Terminator is a perfect example of that. Now I'm on Wikipedia, so take it as you will. In either usage, most B movies represent a particular genre. The Western was a Golden Age B movie staple,
while low-budget science fiction and horror films became more popular in the
Just like this one we just watched.
Early B movies were often part of series in which the star repeatedly played the same character, almost always shorter than top-billed feature films. Blah, 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 blah. Latter-day B movies still sometimes inspire multiple sequels, but series are less common as the average running time of the top line, blah, blah, blah. Basically in this, it is explaining how on the Wikipedia, how B movies are more of a genre today than how the movie's made. Sorry, Jake.
We're technically
but that's
right,
Wikipedia, and you know
but-
what? I can fucking edit Wikipedia.
We're technically both right because they did start off and a lot of them are low budget movies, but dude, you know what's a fucking like a B movie premise too, to be honest with you, is like something like Armageddon. And then someone was like, we're going to give you like $1 gazillion to make this fucking movie. Like Sharknado is a B movie, but Armageddon's like Sharknado with like $1 billion budget. That's what that is.
Sharknado, I could see that being a good example. It was like a B type movie, but like they made it in that way. They made it with a low budget and like a television release with like not super famous people, like recognizable names, but not like there's no like Tom Cruise, there's no Leonardo DiCaprio types. There's
in Sharknado, isn't
Tara
fucking
Reid.
what's her name in that movie? Tara
Reid.
She's a fucking.
She was like
she's B list.
She's B, exactly.
Nah,
B for B
she's
movie.
more like a C or a D lister.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I but I get what Schwartz is saying is that it give the budget of Sharknado to Armageddon and don't have Michael Bay direct it. Have someone have fucking Anthony Islami direct it, and it's a fucking B movie.
I mean, they did shit like that for like The Meg or whatever. Like,
yeah,
that wasn't a B.
Exactly,
I
The
wouldn't call
Meg-
that a B movie.
But it is though.
The
But it's
Meg
a B
is
movie
for
with a
sure
big budget.
a B movie. Has
Exactly.
To be.
It's like the same thing as Piranha almost, which was a B
What?
movie
How
directed
much
by
was the
Joe
Meg
Dante.
made for?
Probably like $100 million.
Yeah, probably for a lot of money. Like,
Yeah, but
Jason Statham alone,
But
like,
the premise of
but
it,
they
it
know
gives
that
movie
that's gonna
material.
make the
his
money
A-list
back.
name attached to that movie already makes it not a B movie.
You know who I wish we could ask this question to, and I would take the answer no matter what he say, is Tarantino. I really wish we could ask Quentin Tarantino
Who Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, because no matter what he said, I'd be cool with it, but I'm pretty sure he'd side with me.
He would probably be like, "Well, you're both right," and
You
and
know,
then it would just like talk for a real long fucking time, and then we would just be like, "Thank you for your time."
But think about it, like Death Proof was a B movie. And in a way, well, no, I guess I'm not gonna say that.
a lot of
Yeah,
his
Death Proof.
movies can be considered B movies.
That one,
Sure,
that's
Kill
I
Bill
think
could
I think the Death Proof is like that's a good argument for like the genre style. But I like I said, I don't think that's an actual B movie. It's more of an homage. But we're just fucking talking in circles.
The Meg Wikipedia or the Meg budget was $130 to $178 million.
That's
listen,
not
I
a
think-
B movie.
but whatever. I was just stop talking about it. We're never
I don't
gonna
know.
agree on this.
The
We're never
Meg,
gonna agree
dude.
on
The
this.
Meg's a B fucking movie.
I know it is. Anthony, everybody
Statham's a
knows this
B
except for
actor.
Jake.
Let's be honest. Statham's
he's
not an
not.
A actor.
He's a fucking A-lister for sure.
If you're
Well,
making
listen, he
fucking
makes-
Fast and Furious,
He brings A-list money, but he's not an A-list actor.
he's not an A-list actor. He's not a Tom Cruise.
And that
Like, let's think
why
of
they're
A-list
not B movies.
actors
they're A
and
movies.
compare them to Jason Statham. Okay, let's think of them. Name Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, he's
Right?
like on a
Jason
The Rock
Statham.
level. Like Jason Statham and like The Rock
Sure.
are like on a similar level. Like The Rock isn't getting fucking
Bradley Lewis Pitt, Jason Statham.
Brad
They've
Pitt.
made a movie together.
You're
They're
right.
both.
I'm
pretty
just
good.
saying.
You're right. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It
It was great. But
Brad Pitt
You're right.
stole
Okay,
that
I see
movie.
what you mean.
I bet you
But
Brad Pitt
that's
got
like-
paid more.
But they're like action actors. You know what I mean? Like they kind of have their place. It's like
William
the
Smith,
It's like the Seagulls and like the
Jason
fucking
Statham.
Will Smith, but he was like I would say that
I think Will Smith's getting paid more.
Oh yeah.
think about like where Will Smith was. He's always been high demand.
Thomas Hanks, Jason Statham. I think who's getting paid more?
I mean, you can compare people all day. You can say one name and then another all day.
Idris Elba.
I don't
Jason
know. I don't
Statham.
know. Maybe Jason
Oh.
Statham.
Oh, because he's black?
No, because he's like often a TV
You're saying
guy.
it's the first black person I said. You're saying they get okay. I copy you.
Denzel Washington. Jason
Denzel
Statham.
Washington's getting paid more.
Oh yeah.
Denzel, Mr. Washington, Mr. Equalizer.
Yeah.
He ain't getting equal pay. I'll tell you that much.
Wait, they were
Jason Statham ain't got
and
nothing on
Idris
me.
Elba and The Rock were all in that movie together.
Which movie?
The Hobbs
Fast
and the Shaw.
Furious, yeah.
I
The
never saw
Rock
it.
and Jason Statham. That's not even close.
Yeah, they were in all those Fast and Furious movies.
I don't know. I feel like
I would put Vin Diesel and Jason Statham right up there with each other.
They're on the same level.
I am Groot.
VD and JS, they're same level, but I wouldn't put Jason Statham with anybody above.
So, what do you think the pay scale was in Hobbs and Shaw between Idris, Rock, and Jason? Who made the most? Who made the least?
The Rock got paid the most. It's Rock.
I think the billing. I think because of the billing, maybe Idris made the least because he wasn't like the lead. He wasn't the title character like Hobbs and Shaw. Statham was the other title character. So I don't know. Do you think he made less than The Rock? He probably made less than The Rock.
I definitely think he made less than The Rock.
Okay.
I think
I think
at that time, maybe not. Maybe that first movie, maybe not.
I think they were both. I think it would have been hard for them to not make the same, but it's hard.
I have it up right here. You want to hear it?
Let's see it. Yeah,
have it up.
I think Vin Diesel made more than both.
Let's take
I'm not talking about that one. Vin Diesel.
How much do you think Dwayne The Rock Johnson made?
For which movie are we talking about?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Now he is a title character.
25 mil.
So I'm saying Schwartz, 25 for The Rock.
17.
Jake, 17 for The Rock. Anthony doesn't get to guess. How much do you think Jason Statham made?
20.
I think.
And he said 17 for The Rock.
15.
Wow. Okay.
12. I actually think 12.
12. All right. So
that's a big jump.
Answer.
Even though I think they should have made the same.
And
I never saw it.
Mr. Alba, Mr. Idris Elba.
10.
2.
2?
2.
Jesus, Jake.
I don't know. I never saw, but I don't think he had a big part.
All right.
He was like the villain, but I
the
don't
bad
think he
guy,
was the main.
For Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious presents.
We also might be over guessing a lot. Both.
Maybe.
And Rock. I don't really know how much actors
go
made.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah, maybe go fuck myself. Maybe.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson made a cool 20 mil for Hobbs and Shaw.
So yeah, okay.
So Jake technically wins in Price is Right rules, but
it's also closer.
Oh yeah.
Did you say 20 or 25?
20.
Oh, you said 20. Okay, Price is Right.
Jason Statham 13. So again, Jake.
Ooh,
closer and under. And a huge jump for Jake on this one. Idris Elba made a cool $8 million.
Okay.
For Hobbs and Shaw. So Schwartz was closer, but you were under.
Okay, that helps me. What did Rock make again?
20 million.
20. Okay.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be paid $20 million. Oh, will be paid. I wonder if that's the new one.
20 and then 13 for Statham?
No, that's the only one.
Okay.
So Dwayne, The Rock made 20. Jason Statham made 13. Idris Elba made 8, according to Variety.
That's a pretty big gap between Statham and The Rock. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and The Rock is and Statham's not even a woman.
Yeah, The Rock is killing it.
What movie are we talking about? Obviously, it sucked.
The Ram.
You know who's not in Gremlins? The Rock.
The Rock. Oh, dude, if they make the Gremlins 3,
Gremlins
that's true.
Jake,
Good
what
point.
did you think about Hulk Hogan being in Gremlins 2?
Made me so stoked because it was like I first just liked the little like movie theater gag that they like. It was like the Gremlins were eating the movie theater reel and like it popped up and they were all like in the whatever. That would have fucked everything up too because if they were in the projector light, if they were in the projector light, that's the first one they're watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because that's all they wanted to do. They just wanted to watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
And that's how they killed him. So hold on, wait, no, go ahead.
Yeah, we could jump back to that, but let's talk about.
Well, I'm just
Hulk
saying,
Hogan
like,
for a minute.
let's not gloss over the fact that they just murk all these fucking gremlins. But go ahead.
Yeah, they just released the gas in the first one. Going back to the first
they have
one,
to. The gremlins are gonna fuck everything up. They got to get rid of them.
But like, it's honest. It's like killing a bunch of gizmos. Like, why didn't they if they want to do right, they got to kill Gizmo.
Listen, Gizmo is a fucking national treasure, my dude.
If they want to do right and they don't want to, it's like killing Terminator. You got to kill the chip. You got to kill the arm. You got to kill the brain. There's one more chip right here, dude. Yeah. One more.
Got to kill head vampire.
You got to kill the head vampire. That's what, honestly, that's how I thought they were going to kill him. I was like, they're going to have to kill the head dude. They're going to have to kill the Giz. And that's how they're going to get away with it. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? That's where he came from.
I said it would make too much sense if it happened.
Oh, okay. Got you.
But yeah,
light's better.
That's just too smart.
But yeah, they fucking straight up blow up.
The rules are stupid, dude. And so not only that, like after they cocoon, they can get wet, and then when they multiply, they multiply as again. Like the demon, or they don't multiply as the Mogwai.
They don't reset to Mogwai, which doesn't really make sense in my mind.
That gene should be bred out of them by the time they're out of the cocoon.
I guess
it's just fucking the rules. Come on.
I don't know. I guess if a butterfly reproduces, I don't know how this works, but if a butterfly reproduces, you
get a butterfly wet, you ain't producing another butterfly.
It comes back as a caterpillar. It doesn't come back as a butterfly. Again.
It's the only other animal that I know goes through metamorphosis. Name 4 animals that go through metamorphosis.
It's just the butterfly.
Caterpillar. That's the only one I can think of.
Caterpillar and a butterfly. Well, what about moths? Moths are a different type of.
I think they start as caterpillars.
They cocoon and become raccoons. All raccoons were once moths.
That would be insane. They come out as mammals.
Bro, you ever seen a hummingbird moth?
Nope.
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing. I saw one.
Hummingbirds.
I wasn't sure what I was seeing when I saw
a hummingbird feeder.
I got one too. They're pretty cool. Anyway,
wait, hold on.
These movies.
What other animals go through metamorphosis?
I don't know.
Were they watching Cocoon? No, they were definitely watching It's a Wonderful Life at some point in this movie.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the mom was. I think it's always the moms are watching It's a Wonderful Life in these movies.
And in Home Alone.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a dope shot of like them behind the movie theater, and like, see, this fucks up the theory that like the whole light thing, because they're so clearly getting hit by light and casting their shadow onto the screens.
Well, it's bright light too. It's like
bright light.
Really, really bright. You know.
Yeah, the projection's a bright fucking light.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why it fucks it up. These guys would be dead.
Also, Gizmo. Rewind to the beginning. Gizmo was running around in the daytime when the dude from fucking Good Morning Vietnam found him.
And 2, yeah. So in 1, they just kill all the fucking gremlins in the movie theater. Is this the
first one or the second one? What
I got number 1 playing behind me. That's the one where they
release
the same
gas. Thing they do the same thing in the second one, don't they?
They kill them differently in the second
one. They fuck up the movie though, like
they fuck up the movie in the second one. But this is how they kill him in the first one with the movie theater. In the second one,
so Gizmo has no fucking problem that they're just murking essentially his whole family. Is Gizmo okay? Does he have a family? Is he not upset that the only other the only other things of his kind are just being incinerated in this movie theater? Fucking Glorious Bastard style or what?
Gizmo don't give a fuck, dude. Gizmo's just about Giz, you know? He does.
Yeah.
Do you think Tarantino loved this movie and that's why he included the Inglourious Bastards death scene?
You know, I was watching it and I was like, I wonder if Tarantino took that from this, and I hope he did.
There's no way Tarantino hasn't seen Gremlins 2 or Gremlins.
Okay. He's seen it at least 10 times minimum.
I'm sure he loves it.
I'm sure he loves it.
Gremlins is pretty fun for what it is. I think it's like it's interesting. It's unique. I think 2 is like just a sequel. It was unnecessary, but like
I wish I saw Gremlins when I was a kid. I wish I was like, and I did. I feel like I saw it when I was young, but I feel like I was a little too young for a lot of the 80s movies, really, like a lot of the really good 80s movies. I was just a little too, like 1-2 years too young to like really remember the good ones, you know? And I feel like this was a good one that I wish I had a nostalgia feel for like the Goonies, like fucking Hook, or I don't know, like those movies that people talk shit on that you're like, yeah, but I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
This is one of those, and
does it too, though.
And Chris Columbus is the man, and it's a good movie, but I don't have that. I don't have the feeling. I don't have the feels for it, and I feel like I was just a little too young for it. But I could see how I would have loved it. Like Tremors, dude. Like Tremors is not great, but like for some reason I love that movie.
I got a nostalgia with that too.
Yeah, it's because when I was a kid,
it's like leaving Las Vegas.
I don't know. I don't got
Or
nostalgia with that.
Awakenings.
I mean, I feel, I know what you mean though, because
exactly.
I don't recall ever seeing Gremlins 2. And I know I've seen Gremlins when I was younger. I saw it I think a year or two ago, and around Christmas, and I like Gremlins, and I do have the nostalgia connection, so I think you got some there. And 2, I didn't like the first half of Gremlins 2, I think, and then I kind of like accepted what it was.
Yeah,
and
as soon as
I
you
enjoyed
saw
it once
Hulk,
it like became what it was.
fine.
Really, yeah, going back to that for sure. Gremlins in the theater. They the movie, the manager's like, we got to figure out something to do. The manager doesn't want to know what to do because the projector guy is like, everything's fucked up. And then there's like a woman complaining about like how it's too violent. And then for whatever reason, the manager goes into the movie theater, finds Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan turns to the camera and essentially cuts a promo addressing the Gremlins and says, you know, he's going to come for him, and says brother and stuff a few times and rips his shirt off. And it was pretty rad.
He does. He rips his shirt off.
It's pretty great.
I'm not gonna lie. That's
rip their shirts off.
I agree with you, but 100% opposite of what you said. I thought
really? You were
up
gone
until
at
that point,
Oh.
I was pretty much into it. And then once they started taking over, and they were like making fun of the Gremlins, and they were like, well, what happens if this happens? What happens with it? And I was like, all right, this is becoming very meta. And then it became very meta, and then it like acted like it took over your screen and shit.
Yeah, I started liking it because it was like all the shit in the beginning was too. It was like the Billy working at the fucking same building. To me, like that shit. I was.
What are you talking about? What does that mean? What do you mean to say building?
Like he worked at the building that the Mogwai or that Gizmo got taken to. Like he just happened to work at that same building, and all of the buildings in New York, and all of the buildings in the world. Like he didn't even like the first one has nothing to do with New York, and the second one is just in New York, like which is a weird sequel trope we could talk about with other sequels.
It's
all about like take New York, take Manhattan, whatever.
It was basically the first one was basically in Gotham, and then the second one was essentially in New York City, or was in New York City.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I thought that was strange that it was like, so Billy just happens to be in the same building, and he just happens to stumble upon Gizmo essentially.
Wasn't he like
fuck all that? Let's talk about the girl gremlin. What was up with that?
No, exactly. I that was what was bothering me originally.
The one who raped the dude in the end, who's like,
fuck it.
Has the dude tied up and is forcing herself on him?
End of the movie, which is so crazy.
That's how the movie ends.
Yeah,
sexual assault.
Which makes me think there's a definite possibility for more Gremlins, but they never kept
a half human, half gremlin baby from the fucking they did off screen.
And HHHGB.
You got it, dude.
That sounds. Awesome.
I think we should write this movie and pitch it to Spielberg and be like, bro, let's do it.
Steven,
half human gremlin.
Hey, Stevie, we got an idea. Listen
Yo, Stevie Nicks, Spielberg.
Steviekins, Stevenowski.
Yo, Spiegsby. Got an idea for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, these were fun. You guys didn't enjoy it at all?
No, they were fun.
They were fun, but honestly, like I think, the problem is I don't have a nostalgia for it. Other than that, it's good enough. Good enough.
I didn't watch when I was a kid.
Right.
I would have loved it if I watched when I was a kid.
And then also now
that's
find
your fucking
a lot of
fault, dude.
Flaws even in the first Gremlins. Even
the
though
Goonies
I
is
like the first
great.
Gremlins a lot more.
I'm not a
than
big
two.
Goonies guy.
No,
Anthony, did you prefer one over the other?
Yeah, I kind of like 2 better.
2 is
Just
so much better.
it's the ridiculous nature of it.
It is.
I see what
it
you
was
mean
just,
by like
it
the
was
entertaining.
it was more entertaining. That was the you
They
got
were like,
me.
yo,
You got
let's
me
take
on
the
that.
first movie and just give them more of exactly what they want, and that's what 2 was.
If that was the only movie, I would have been like, all right, yeah, it was fucking
Okay.
ridiculous. Also, it was a little more updated. It looked a little better. Like, when was it made? Was it made in the fucking 90s?
1990.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
used a better camera. I'm sure.
Pretty big gap for sequels back then. I feel like nowadays it's pretty more normal, but like back then I feel like sequels were like more closely tied together.
But
I guess Terminator 2 was like about the same
Actually,
amount of time.
I think I read that whatever film stock they used on the second one, that was like the last movie that they
read that
shot
too.
on
Yeah,
that
they
one.
sh- no
I don't know
film
what it
stock.
was. I don't know anything about film. I just glanced over that one.
It
Interesting.
even opened weird with that cartoon. Like it was like a mini Looney Tunes cartoon. at the
Yeah,
beginning.
but I think that's not the only movie that did that. Was that the only, like, I feel like they did
No,
that
Warner
for
Brothers, Warner Brothers used to do that. They did it in front of their Tim Burton's
okay.
Batman.
because it was the 20th or 50th anniversary of Bugs Bunny, and that's why it was like
Okay.
Bugs Bunny's birthday, which was the reference of it.
Also,
that-
Looney Tunes is like Warner Brothers' biggest thing up until like the 90s when they became like big movie. Well, they were always big movie people, but Looney Tunes is like huge for Warner Brothers. And if you look at the Tim Burton movies, if you bought the VHS Tim Burton Batmans, they have Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny shit in front of both of them too.
That's true. I remember that. I have those on VHS. I had those on VHS. I'm sure. Hopefully, my parents still do. That'd be rad. Just a black fucking case with the
Batman symbol.
yellow Batman symbol.
Yep.
Well, I also read something that like
Shut the
was a-
fuck up,
it was
Jake.
it was a choice that they like
Go
left
eat
it
some
in
tofu, you
in
idiot.
the replays
That's not you. You're gonna say.
of the
Come in with the
that,
fucking milk.
that fucking that the Looney Tunes cartoons like set a chaotic nature or something. That it was on purpose. Who cares?
Well, I don't even know what you just said for the last 5 minutes.
I know. Doesn't
I'm
matter.
just looking at Anthony writing obscenities on a piece of
None
paper.
of this matters.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, great movies. Everybody watch them. Watch them twice.
They're fun. Might as well watch a cartoon.
Sure, you could watch Looney Tunes. It'd almost be the same.
Be the same.
I've had like the
Looney-
little like
Looney-
the Gremlins
Tunes
jingle
is-
stuck in my head all day.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Looney Tunes is probably the best cartoons ever created, in my opinion.
You ever see Scooby Doo?
I did. Scooby Doo's good, but I don't think there's better than Looney Tunes,
Everybody's wrong sometimes.
except for you, which is all the time.
South Park.
Yeah, but South Park's different.
Cartoon.
I'm
Yeah.
different.
South Park's pretty great.
The Jetsons.
Never got into them. Pink Panther was pretty good back in the day. Inspector Gadget.
Two Stupid Dogs.
I mean, Courage the Cowardly Dog is probably top 5.
Rocco's Modern Life.
That was a good one.
The soon to be coming Gremlins cartoon
Oh yeah.
on Netflix next year.
1920s fucking China setting.
It has the potential to be the best cartoon of all time.
Maybe.
Yeah, until Kill Bill cartoon comes out.
Dude, he should just make Kill Bill 3 with Zendaya, dude.
Is that gonna be a thing?
Kill Bill animated series. Yes, it is.
Oh, wow, that sounds cool.
He's gonna make prequels.
That's
Ooh.
dope. Are they gonna be anime?
Yep.
That's
Nice.
sick.
I was
it's
just
like the
I was
whole
on the phone with him an hour ago, and that's
Oren Ishii part, that whole thing. Like if it's
he was
looks
like,
that
yeah,
shit, that'd be dope.
right. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, all right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, low key, the best thing Tarantino's ever done is play Richard Gecko in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
I don't think that's the best. I mean, that's probably his best acting.
That's the best thing he's ever written, in my opinion. Just because he wrote it for himself and he knew he was gonna be a fucking scumbag.
I'm putting this at number 20.
Wow, I love that.
Really?
Yeah.
We're just throwing the list in crazy places.
I'm not. Don't tell me how I'm doing my list, bro.
I
I'm
didn't
just
even know we
telling
were
you
gonna do
where it
it.
is. What do you mean you don't know where? Oh, we're not going to do it? Yeah,
I
this
was-
is kind of a Christmas special, huh?
Specials. All these are
All right,
specials.
never mind.
No,
We're
we
not
can
doing it.
still-
We're not
no,
doing
we can
it.
still do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I would. That's where I would put it. 20.
Let's fucking do it. Who
But
cares?
no.
Just no. Just not gonna do it. You're just not gonna rank it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have man. This is
Fine.
special. We didn't rank the Halloween specials.
Well, no, we ranked the Halloween movies. We just didn't rank the Halloween special.
Okay, Gremlins 2 is better than Gremlins 1. End the podcast immediately. Or not.
Oh, I thought he was gonna do it. I don't know. I wasn't sure.
That was the best ending ever. All right.
Huh?
What'd you write in that piece of paper a couple minutes ago? He's eating the paper to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd put these Gremlins movies if I had a list.
Number
them.
20,
20.
right above King of Comedy.
Ooh, what a slap in the face to Mr. Scorsese.
All right, right below King of Comedy. Number
think I-
21,
Weird.
right above Bound.
Bound is good.
You're
Bound
good.
is number 22. That's a good spot for that.
Nope, 21.
That's a good spot.
I'm going.
I have a solid list. My list is solid. If you, regardless of your list, if you looked at my list, you'd be like, "That's a good list."
I'm
It
done
just-
with the list.
It's funny when you rank because like you just surprise me. Like I'm just surprised 20. It's so high because
Don't fucking don't be surprised.
All right. I'm doing 41 and I still like
That's
this
a good
movie.
one.
Still
That's
like
a
this
All right,
movie.
so we're ranking. All right, let's
Yeah.
rank.
41 out of we might as well. We're at 78. I want to get to
Fucking tell
100
me.
and then we can fucking stop ranking altogether.
Oh, is that what you want to do?
That's what I would like to do.
I've already
Okay.
stopped. I'm done with the rank.
Schwartz,
No,
where do you
we'll-
want to
we'll
put it?
look. We'll look at Schwartz's. We'll decide. Where.
Yeah, we're just taking over Schwartz's
You
list.
guys decide.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna come up with a. I'll come up with a number, and you come up with a number, and then we'll both
Okay.
say it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Schwartz. Where would I put? Wait, what movie is this? Gremlins. Just Gremlins. We'll do both Gremlins and Gremlins 2 all in one.
The Gremlin.
Okay. I have a
think
place for it.
Yeah, I
You
think I
guys
got
say it at the
something
same time,
too.
though. Same time.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
One on three. You say ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
51.
47.
Ooh.
All right. Pretty close. Pretty close.
Ooh,
47.
you're
All
both
right,
wrong.
51,
You're both wrong.
47.
32. 32 is the rank. B.
No, really?
32. Really?
You guys suck.
Are you serious? Is
I
that
can
your
see
official
that, but
ranking,
I can
Schwartz?
see that. I couldn't really gauge your rank. 32?
I love that.
All right, cool. We're
That's
giving
pretty
32.
high.
Yeah, cool. Gotta, yeah.
Ooh, I
don't know.
like that game.
Yeah, it's fun.
Number
game.
one, we see if we're correct or if we match each other, and then Schwartz tells us if we're
Yeah.
wrong. That's
I
a
almost,
fun
I almost feel like we tricked Schwartz into ranking because I feel like he wasn't gonna do it.
game.
I'm not gonna lie. I chose that number because it was way different than the ones you chose.
That's cool.
That's
we can
cool.
still we can
That's
do it
cool.
because we had a good. We
That's
clearly
what
had a
it
good
is. That's
time with
what
it.
it
So
is,
let's do that
baby.
every week.
If that's
Unless-
what it is,
unless you
that's
feel
what
like
it
you wanna
is,
put it
baby.
Sure.
He's just like number one every time.
I came in with the milk, dude.
Sick. Thanks for coming in with the milk, Schwartz.
You're welcome. I got the milk.
Can we please watch two solid, beloved, classic Christmas movies next week?
Yeah,
Die Hard and Die Hard 2.
that's cool. That'll round out our December.
Please.
Close out hard.
I'm glad we waited
Die
because
Hard.
these are the best ones of our choices. Black Christmas is a good movie. Solid. We haven't seen it yet. Good pick.
Cool. Yeah,
Classic.
starting in strong. I like it.
Other like it's Tarantino's a fan of we are fans of people that are fans of that movie. But Die
Okay.
Hard's the classic of the classics of the non-traditional Christmas movies.
Word.
And we haven't John and John McTiernan yet.
True. And whoever did number 2.
I don't think it was. I think it was Rennie Harlan.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but we don't have to consider them we don't have to take them out of the running. We should probably not take Joe Dante out of the running.
No, I think Joe Dante can do it because that's 2 movies for Joe Dante. It's fine. Joe Dante has some other good shit, but I think that's fine. It's fine.
Whatever.
It's fine.
Watch Die Hard.
What the fuck? Yeah, what other Rennie Harlan movie are we gonna fucking watch?
Oh, he's made some good ones actually. You'd be surprised. Rennie Harlan's made some good flicks.
Cool. We'll talk about the next
Name
week.
your top 7 favorite Rennie Harlan movies.
Cliffhanger, The Long Kiss Goodnight, Driven, Die Hard, and
I stand corrected because I didn't know who the fuck that guy was.
I don't know.
Or gal. I don't even know.
Jake, you lose. Thanks for listening to Make Me Watch Movies. Watch Die Hard next week and follow us on Instagram, except for Schwartz.
1 and 2, right? Just Die Hard 1 and 2.
Shout out to the big cat.